Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and today's video is 5 things we learned from Manchester United 2, Granada 0. Now this is a good result, but was it a great game? That's what I'm going to say. 4-0 in aggregate, Manchester United through to the Europa League semi-final, and we will be playing Roma in the Europa League semi-final. Maybe I'll address that towards the end of the live stream. But today's video, I'm going to talk about 5 things we learned from Manchester United 2, Granada 0, and then I'll be going into reacting to some of my live comments, going into the player ratings, going into player stats. So we'll start with the 5 things we learned, then I'll react to some of the live chats, and then I will look into the player stats, we'll look into the stats of the game, and then I will give my player ratings. So everyone joining the stream, please hit that like button, subscribe down below, share this video. If you're not watching live, don't worry, I'm going to get my 5 things we learned from the game straight out of the way. So if you're not watching live and you just come for the 5 things we learned, don't worry, get your thoughts in the comments if you're not watching live. But if you are watching live, join the live chat, hit that like button, subscribe down below, let me know your thoughts. But I'm going to get straight into it. And what is the first thing we learned from the game? What did we learn from the game? Have we been saying this all season? Probably yes. But for me, Donny van de Beek needs to be used more. And if there's any issues with my camera quality or my microphone or anything, guys, just let me know, because sometimes it plays up. But for me, Donny van de Beek needs to be used more. We do not use him enough. I thought it was criminal that Donny van de Beek didn't start the game. I thought Donny van de Beek should have started the game. I thought the fact that we were 2-0 up against Granada, and if Donny van de Beek's not going to start this game, he's not going to start any games to the end of the season, realistically. The fact that we didn't have McTominay, we're 2-0 up against Granada, and he doesn't start Donny van de Beek, for me was criminal. I was really frustrated, but I do applaud Ollie for bringing him on at half-time for Paul Pogba. I thought Paul Pogba was excellent, but it looked like he was going to get sent off. So I do applaud Ollie for bringing Donny van de Beek on. But in the 45 minutes Donny van de Beek played, I think he was the best player on the pitch. You know, he put in that great cross to Greenwood. Greenwood headed it. He had a shot that came just wide. He was actually sort of involved in the build-up to the second goal. He was involved in this other build-up where he played the ball to, I think, Amad Diallo. When Donny van de Beek got the ball, this is why Donny was so good. When Donny van de Beek got the ball, he was always looking to pass forward and do that quick pass. He barely lost possession. Compared to Fred, Donny van de Beek barely lost possession. Bear in mind, he's with the ball higher at the pitch, and he was always passing it forward. Donny was doing that quick forward passes. So, you know, we really struggled to transition into a counter-attack in the first half. But in the second half, we actually had a few counter-attacks. And one of the players should have been sent off for fouling Amad Diallo. But because Diallo didn't fall to the ground, he didn't get sent off. But Donny van de Beek was really good because I think he played a part in the transition to the counter-attack. He gets the ball moving quickly. And this is my theory about Donny van de Beek. And if you agree with me, let me know. I think one of the reasons Ollie doesn't play Donny van de Beek is because Donny van de Beek is a very intelligent footballer that is used to playing high-tempo football with Ajax. And I think because Ollie likes to play this boring, safe football with 2 CDMs, 2 pivots, Donny van de Beek doesn't suit that boring, safe football. Donny van de Beek does not suit the boring, safe football because he likes to move the ball quickly. He likes to play fast. He likes to attack. And maybe that's why Ollie doesn't play him, because when Ollie wants to play this boring crap football we're going to be playing, Donny wants to move the ball quickly. Donny wants to attack. Donny wants to get the ball forward. And for me, in the second half, Donny was the best player. I think the first half, Pogba was the best player. In the second half, Donny was the best player. He put in a world-class cross. He was involved in all the build-ups to the counter-attack. He put some good balls in. He was always in the box. He was linking up well with players. He very rarely lost the ball. He's passing forward. He's moving quickly. In the second half, Donny van de Beek was absolutely excellent. And what we learned from that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to use Donny van de Beek more. We have McTominay and Fred, and we complain we don't create enough. Well, look at Donny van de Beek. Why do I just always sit here? I always sit here and I go, why can't we just play maybe something like Matic, Donny, Bruno, and some high-tempo football? Put Donny in that box-to-box role, or Donny, Pogba, Bruno on the same pitch, and we'll have Matic and Fred for that defensive stability. And we play quick, high-tempo football. Why do we have to play this 2 CDMs negative football? But if Donny van de Beek really impressed you in his 45-minute cameo, please hit that like button. And don't worry, I will address some of the live chats. But the second thing we learned from the game is Ollie does not need 2 CDMs in this game. I just thought Fred and Matic in the pivot. You're 2-0 up. You're against Granada. They're not a great team. You're 3-0 at half-time, but you won't change the pivot. You have this pivot of Fratic, we call them. We don't need 2 CDMs in this game. I know why Ollie plays 2 CDMs. Matic is only good in the slow games. I think Matic would be good playing against Burnley. I thought Matic was good today. I thought Matic was really good today. I think Matic is good in the slow games. Fred is not a CDM. I think Fred is our best option at CDM because I think Matic has passed it. And we know McTominay is 10 times better in a box-to-box role. So I know why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays 2 CDMs, because we don't have 1 CDM. We don't have a player good enough to do that CDM job week in, week out. Hence why we know we need a Declan Rice or Wilfred Ndidi. But in a game like this, I do not think that Manchester United should be playing with two CDMs. I don't think we need two CDMs in a game like this. And I will criticise Oli for that. I would have liked to see from the start. Matic, Donny, Bruno, Pogba, Cavani, Greenwood. I'm glad Rashford was rested, but I don't think you needed two CDMs in this game. I think it was quite safe. Even though Granada were better in the first leg, they barely tested us. They barely tested us today. If you agree with me, I'd like to see again Matic, Donny, Bruno, Pogba, Cavani, Greenwood. That's why I sort of attacking six. I don't think we needed to sit deep with two CDMs. Maybe he didn't trust Tuanzebe and Lindelof together, who I thought did a good job. But I just thought, Tuanzebe's our fastest centre back, so it's not like we have to sit deep to protect his pace. For me, the only criticism I have of Oli is I don't think he needed two CDMs in this game. I thought it was a little bit too defensive. I thought it was a little bit boring. But the third thing is a positive. The third thing that we learned is, let me move my camera over here. It's not quite central. That's kind of giving me OCD. But the third thing we learned is that I thought Cavani was class. Let's create more. Pogba, great first half. So what I mean by that is Cavani gets one chance and he finishes it. Imagine if we played with one CDM, high-tempo attacking football like we did in the second half versus Spurs, our best football, and we're creating 4, 5, 6 chances. When we got knocked out in the semi-final to Sevilla, how many chances did we create? 10, 11, 12. Imagine Cavani on the end of 10, 11, 12 chances. You're getting 4 or 5 goals. You've got a player like Cavani that's a poacher, that's a finisher. Why don't we play more attacking football and create chances for Cavani? Pogba got the ball really hard at the pitch, created a few chances. I thought Pogba was brilliant in the first half. I thought Cavani was barely touched the ball, but what he did was right. I just think I look at United and I look at that game and I go, you give Cavani a chance, and 9 times out of 10 he's going to finish it. That was a brilliant goal. Well, a brilliant assist from Pogba, brilliant finish from Cavani. I just think that was Cavani's only chance in that game. He didn't really get any chances other than that. Greenwood had a header, and then I think Cavani had another header, but he just hit it wide. Cavani had 2 chances in that game, because we didn't create much. But imagine if we'd actually approached that game like we approached the second half versus Spurs, and we decided to play attacking, free-flowing football, how many chances Cavani would have got. And I think if we'd have played better football and given Cavani more chances, it could have been a different game. It could have been a more exciting game. And I think we have the quality in attack to play better football. And I think Pogba was brilliant. I think Pogba's got the quality to get an assist. Obviously, we saw that in the last 2 games. Cavani's got the quality to score. But I'm just saying Cavani has 2 chances versus Spurs, puts them both in the back of the net. One of them counts. Cavani, 2 chances today, puts one in the back of the net, other one's closed. If United would just create more and more chances, we would see more out of Cavani, in my opinion. I think, he doesn't get many chances, but he takes it. Now, I'm going to applaud Oli for this. I think it was a good half-time sub by Oli. I will applaud Oli on this. I rate his substitutions. I think some should have gone earlier. I would have put Ahmad on instead of Mata, because Ahmad's a £35 million signing. Mata's leading, but we know Oli likes to play it safe. Yes, Donny van de Beek should have started. My first point was Donny van de Beek needs to be used more if you joined late. Yes, Donny van de Beek should have started. And yes, I actually will address some of your live chat comments in a second. But it was a good half-time sub by Oli, putting Donny van de Beek on, because I just had flashbacks to Fred versus PSG. Do you remember when we played PSG in the group stage of the Champions League this season, and Fred was so close to getting a red card and Oli kept him on the pitch? I just felt Pogba was brilliant in the first half, but I just felt it was going to be deja vu and he was going to get sent off. And the fact that we gave Donny van de Beek 45 minutes, should have been 90, and we took Pogba off, I thought was very good game management from Oli, and I think he's learned from maybe the PSG game with Fred, you know what, if he's going to get a red, take him off. We need Pogba versus Burnley. Donny's probably not going to play versus Burnley. I think he should play, but he won't. I think it was a good half-time sub by Oli. I think he managed his subs quite well. My only criticism is I'm glad Rashford didn't play. That's not criticism. I'm really glad Rashford didn't play, but I think Oli did manage his subs well. I just think I would have put Ahmad on instead of Mata for that sub earlier. I would have given Ahmad a bit more. And I'm really frustrated. I feel bad for Ahmad because he's through on goal. He gets fouled, but he carries on. There was contact with him. It's really a red card in the rule book, and if it was Manchester City, they probably would have got sent off. But I thought Amad Diallo showed a fancy cameo, but I'd like to send Amad Diallo on. But I do praise Oli's subs. And my fifth and final thing, and then I will get into my player ratings, address some of the live comments, and look at the stats, is Man United are boring to watch. I said this time and time again. We're winning games, we're getting results. Okay, good. 2-0 wins versus Granada, 2 clean sheets, lovely stuff. But this is lovely stuff for Jose Mourinho. I don't like Jose Mourinho football. Yes, I'd rather be in second with Jose Mourinho football than 11th with, great football. I admit that. We're winning games, so I'm not going to complain too much. I'm not going to go Oli out. I understand why people are Oli out because the football is boring, but I'm not going to be Oli out because we're winning games. We're in a semi-final. We're second in the league, But the football by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is boring. The football by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is depressing. It's boring. In a game like Granada, he didn't have to go so strong. And the fact that he went so strong, why doesn't he play free-flowing, high-tempo football? Now, boring, protect the clean sheet football. I want to see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when we're 1-0 up, going to go 2-3-0 up, not let's defend the 1-0 lead. I don't want to see this B-Tech Jose Mourinho stuff. I think Man United are boring to watch. If you saw me in my live watch along, I was yawning through that whole game. And that's my criticism of that. So that was my 5 things we learned from the game. I'm now going to address some of you guys' live chats, get into the player ratings, look at the stats and all of that. But if you just joined, my first point was Van de Beek needs to be used more. My second point was Ollie doesn't need 2 CDMs in a game like this. I think we could have played Matic holding, maybe Donny box to box, Bruno Cam. I thought Cavani was class. I think, he only had 2 chances. He took them. I think we need to create Cavani more chances. I thought Pogba was brilliant in the first half. I thought Ollie's game management was pretty good in terms of subs, but I did think that Manchester United were boring to watch. But I'm going to address some of your live chats, guys. So get your live chats down below. And as always, hit that like button, subscribe down below, share this video. And then we'll look into the player stats, look at the game numbers, and we'll look into the overall game stats. And then I will do my player ratings. So stay tuned for my player ratings. I'll be doing that in the next 10 minutes or so. But let me have a look. I've missed a load of chats. This guy says, Matic ain't got legs anymore. If we had Matic from 2 to 4 years ago, he would be good. I agree. I think a CDM is a priority position. I think Matic can, Matic this season's been very inconsistent. I think he can play in the odd slow game, but he's like Mata. He's past it. JB says, Donny should be given more game time and hopefully he will start against Roma in the semi-final. I hope he does start against Roma in the semi-final. As this guy said, Donny's a hard worker. You've got to let him play. I think Donny definitely needs more game channel. Thanks, JB, for subscribing to Alice Talks Football. I upload daily Manchester United content. I go live. I do uploads. I do all of that. He also says, I've always rated Donny. He was excellent at Ajax. I think Donny van de Beek was excellent at Ajax. And the thing is, whenever Donny's played, I think he's played well, or, he's played average. We've seen McTominay and Fred have some shockers this season. We've seen Matic have some shockers. And the fact that we see so many shockers from our midfield and Donny doesn't get the chances. Look, if, Matic, Fred and McTominay playing world-class week in, week out, fair enough, you can't put Donny in. But Donny, in a few minutes he's played, he's done. Donny was 10 times better than Fred in that game. I thought Donny was better than Bruno in that game. Donny's not better than Bruno, but I thought Donny was brilliant. I think we need to use Donny more. And Jay also says, Ollie likes to play 2 CDMs of Fred and McTominay to protect the back 4. But like you said, it's too protective and too conservative. Needs to be a bit more risk-taking because it pays off. I 100% agree. Ollie needs to take more risks. Ollie's a very safe manager. You see in games like this, and even Real Sociedad, Real Sociedad, you're 4-0 up, we're 2-0 up at home on aggregate. We still play a really, really strong lineup. We still play defensive negative football. I would just like us to play how we did in the second half versus Spurs. I don't like this Mourinho-Ollie tactic. I want to see how we play in the second half versus Spurs. I want to see Ollie change his team sheets up a bit. I'm glad he rested Rashford. Rashford needed a rest. But he's been playing Rashford throughout injury because he doesn't want to play Dan James because he's scared. And the drop-off from Scott McTominay to Van de Beek isn't a drop-off. Maybe try Matic, Van de Beek, Bruno in the midfield. We've seen what Van de Beek does today. I don't think playing Van de Beek over Fred or playing Van de Beek over McTominay is going to make much difference. It's not like dropping Bruno Fernandes for Pereira. There's dropping Bruno Fernandes for Pereira, and then there's dropping Scott McTominay for Donny van de Beek. You know what I mean? He definitely needs to play Donny van de Beek more. I hope our players take our chances and score. We didn't have many chances, but we did take them. I'd use Cavani as a super substitute, not the whole game. I think Cavani is a good super sub because I don't think he's always fit enough to play the whole game, but we need to create chances for him. And Cavani, if you create a chance for Cavani, you'll take it. This guy says we need better centre backs that can be comfortable with one CDM. I think we need a quick centre back so we can play higher up the pitch. I think one of the reasons we play 2 CDMs is to protect the centre back. I think. But I think we need a top CDM. I think we need a right winger for creativity, Sancho. I think we need a quick centre back of Varane and Koundé. I think we need a CDM, a Rice and Ndidi. And I say that a lot. Everyone's happy that Rashford got rested. Axel was quality tonight. Yeah, we will talk about Axel Tuanzebe. I will go through my player ratings and the match stats. We will talk about Axel Tuanzebe. But I thought Axel Tuanzebe was very, very good tonight. I was really impressed by Axel Tuanzebe. I thought Axel Tuanzebe and Lindelof worked. I think they were very protected. They weren't exposed much. But Axel putting a few good blocks through interceptions. The thing is, today shows that Axel and Donny can play a game and play well. Axel pocketed Neymar and Mbappe, gets 5 minutes, makes a mistake, never gets played. Donny has a few really good man of the match performances, has to play in the midfield with McTominay and Fred, gets no service, has an average game, doesn't play for a while. Donny and Axel Tuanzebe have shown Ollie that he can rotate the squad. This time last year, we couldn't rotate the squad because if you're taking off Bruno, you're putting on Pereira. Now, if you're taking on McTominay, you can put on Van de Beek. If you're taking off Pogba, you can put on Van de Beek. If you're taking off Lindelof, you can put on Tuanzebe. If you're taking off Maguire, you can put on Tuanzebe. We have the depth in the squad to make that changes. And I really hope Ollie's looked at this game and went, you know what? I need to give, Axel and Donny some more starts, I can trust them. All I want is Ollie to actually trust more players. I want Ollie to trust Axel Tuanzebe because I think there's a player in there. And we all know there's a player in Van der Beek because we've seen it today. I thought Van der Beek was brilliant. But Man United can be boring to watch. A lot of these guys are saying that Man United have been very, very boring to watch. Nipum says, think about it. Would you rather play shit ball and win games or beautiful ball and win fuck all? That's the thing. It's I'd rather win the league playing shit than be 11th and be playing good football. But with me, I'd rather see a 3-3 draw than a 1-1 draw. I do like to see good football. Both Manchester's reaching the semis. Hopefully one goes through in United and one gets knocked out in City. Steve says the semi-final is where the Europa League gets interesting. Hopefully we won't bottle another semi-final, and I will sort of talk about Roma towards the end of this. But this guy says Cavani-Pogba combo is starting to blossom. It is. What I want to see versus Burnley, because I still don't think Rashford's fit to play, is Cavani, Pogba, Bruno. Cavani, Pogba, Greenwood, front three. Bruno, Matic, Donny, midfield. Because you're thinking Matic, you're mad. Matic suits Burnley because it's slow and it's physical. Matic suits Burnley, but Ollie will probably play a thread. You didn't watch today's game. The goal was good. The Cavani goal was really good, but you didn't miss out on much. It was pretty boring. United didn't create much, to be fair to you. Jay says, we can take encouragement from the second half performance against Spurs. We can. I'd like us to play higher tempo like we did in the second half versus Spurs. And I hope we approach the Burnley game in that way because Burnley are going to sit a bit that deep. So hopefully we do attack Burnley. But Cavani is shining. Yeah, Cavani's playing really well and he's probably going to leave. But yeah, I'm sorry if I missed a few comments, but is Maguire available for next game? Maguire's available for the Burnley game, and Borussia Dortmund got knocked out the Champions League last night. They might not get knocked out the Champions League. They might not get Champions League next year. Only a matter of time before Sancho signs. Yeah, we will talk about Sancho in a later video this week and the situation on that. But could we get Sancho for a cut price? That's what I think if he's a cut price, United will get him. Tuanzebe's quality. He pocketed Neymar and Mbappe at the start of the season. I completely agree. Now I will read out some of the live chats, and I'm sorry I missed some of the live chats, but I can't read them all. But what I want to do, my voice is gone away. But what I want to do is I actually want to share my screen with you, and I want to just go and show you some of the players' stats. Look at some of the players' stats. So if I just share my screen with you here, we'll look at some of the player stats and all of that, and then I'm going to go and do my player ratings. So we'll do player stats, and then we'll do player ratings. But let me just move that there. So let me just show you. Let's have a look at some of the player stats and the game numbers. So Paul Pogba was brilliant in the first half. 51 touches, 2 key passes. Did his defensive job okay, won a lot of his duels. He lost the possession a couple of times, but he was fouled a load of times. Edison Cavani, look, the guy played 60 minutes, had 1 shot, 1 on target. Had 2 shots, 1 on target, 1 off target, got his goal. He plays 60 minutes, he gets 25 touches, showing how little service he gets. But in the small amount of touches on the ball, he has 2 shots and a key pass, and he puts the ball in the back of the net. And that's all that matters, I thought Bruno was decent. I know he didn't get a goal or assist, and Bruno created 2 key passes. Bruno created a big chance and should have got an assist, to be fair to him. He's a little bit unlucky not to get an assist today. He fairly enough did his work defensively. Didn't lose possession that many times. Got dribbled past a few times. Made a tackle. But yeah, Bruno created 2 chances and created a big chance. So maybe Bruno deserved an assist from the game. I think Greenwood wasn't his greatest game, but he didn't really have much going on for him. He put in a great pass to Van der Beek. Could have got an assist maybe. Van der Beek just wide. And then he had that header from that brilliant Van der Beek cross. Let's have a look at Van der Beek's game numbers. Everybody put in the live chat, who is your man of the match? Who is your man of the match? Let me know in the live chat. But what I want to do is I want to get up Donny Van der Beek's game numbers. Here we go. 45 minutes from Van der Beek. Okay, he had 68% pass accuracy. We've got to remember all his passes were forward. 25 touches, and he had 1 key pass. He didn't touch the ball more, but whenever he touched the ball, we moved it quickly. He attempted his dribbles. He attempted his aerial duels. He won his ground duels. He barely lost possession. Committed a foul once. It was a soft foul as well. But Donny Van der Beek created a big chance. He comes on for 45 minutes. He creates a big chance. He puts in a key pass. He gets the ball forward. He had 25 touches. He creates a big chance. Donny Van der Beek, I thought, was brilliant today. And also, I want to look at Tuanzebe's game numbers. I thought Tuanzebe was really good. 3 clearances, 3 block shots, 2 interceptions, 1 tackle and wasn't dribble past. 1/2 of his duels, barely lost possession. He was fouled twice. 93% pass accuracy. Did a few long balls. I thought Axel Tuanzebe was brilliant today. But I was just going through the player stats and the player ratings. But guys, do you want me to get into my official player ratings? Because I'm going to get into my official player ratings in a second. I thought I'd do that now. So let me go onto the United Stand website. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. and I'm going to use that to do my player ratings. Is that all good on your screen? That should be all good on your screen. But let me just get my cup. But yeah, we're going to get into my player ratings in just a second. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Oh, we're on to the player ratings. We're not on the player ratings, but we will get into the player ratings in a second. But put your man of the match in the live chat, as I am going to read all of that down below. But yeah, this is the player ratings here. So I've just got that up here on the player ratings. But I'm just going to read out a few live chats, and then we're going to get straight into the thing. Should Pogba play more central? I think Pogba's been good on the left, but I think, you know, when Pogba's central, he gets more of the ball. And my ideal Man United lineup would be Declan Rice, Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes. But I don't know if we'll see that, but I think we'd like to see that. This guy says Axel was very safe tonight. Medium performance in my books. Thought he would have been a bit more commanding, carrying the ball forward. I get your point, but, you know, he hasn't played in a while. I think for a player that's barely got anything, you know, I thought it was good. You know, I think he proved that Ollie can trust him. Are we still in a title race? If City drop points again, maybe, but I think it's too late. I'd love us to be in one. Mathematically, we are, but yeah, love the Sofa Score. Great website. Yeah, I agree. Man United against AS Roma. I will give my thoughts on that later on. Don't you worry. I'm going to do my player ratings in just a second. But yeah, everybody put your man of the match down below. But yeah, I agree with this comment. I really hope Donny was starting. So we're going to go straight into my player ratings. So David De Gea, I mean, he wasn't properly tested. He made a few good saves, but they're not saves you'd expect him to. They're saves you'd expect him to make. I'd give him a 6.5. I'll give him a 7 because, you know, he's been treated badly. Wan-Bissaka didn't really put a foot wrong. Didn't offer much going forward. Did his defensive job. Again, a 6.5. I'll probably give him a 6. Lindelof, again, didn't put a foot wrong. I'll probably give him a 6. Tuanzebe, I thought he was a little bit better than Lindelof, but he's probably a 6.5. But because Tuanzebe's had barely any minutes and he's been thrown in, I'm giving him a 7. There we go. Tellers, look, he wasn't great. He didn't do anything wrong, but he didn't get forward as much as I liked. I'd like to see a bit more from Tellers. I'm giving him a 6. You know, he did sort of get an assist at the end, so I'd probably say a 6.5. I don't know about you guys. I'd have probably said a 6.5, but I'd have liked to see Tellers put a few more crosses in because I was thinking Tellers is crossing Cavani's header. You know, that's what I want to see. Tellers is crossing Cavani's header. I thought there would be a few more goals. People were saying Tuanzebe 8. I thought Tuanzebe was brilliant. I'd say it was a 7. I think he didn't have loads to do. He's very well protected. I think he was like an 8 versus PSG, but I think it was a 7 tonight. It was like a 9 versus PSG. But yeah, how the hell was that not a red on Diallo? Because he didn't fall to the ground like Son. But it should have been a red. I absolutely agree. I completely agree with that. But yeah, I think Tellers is a 6.5, to be fair to him. The Man Utd I thought was very, very good. I think he's up there for man of the match because he played the whole game. I'd definitely give him a solid. Matic was good. He did tire towards the end. For me, Fred was the worst on the pitch. We won the game, so I'm thinking of giving him a 6. But if I was being realistic, I'd say it was a 5. I think you agree with me. I think Fred was the worst player today. I just think he gave the ball away a lot. I think Matic was really, really good, to be fair, though. I think he had an underrated performance. And this guy says, we have improved so much defensively. Credit to the team a few weeks back used to concede foolish goals more frequently. I agree that we have improved defensively. However, we're playing so defensive football that our defence is being very, very much protected. So have we improved defensively, or are they just having less to do? Fernandes, he should have got an assist, to be fair. He's a little bit unlucky. He's probably a 6.5, but because he's got high standards, I'll give him a 6. Greenwood didn't have much of the ball. He could have maybe got a goal, got his head on it. He was involved a little bit. He put in a good cross. I'll give him a 6 as well. Paul Pogba, for me, first half was man of the match. Got a brilliant assist. You have to admit that Paul Pogba assist was absolutely quality. It was a class assist. So I'm thinking Paul Pogba, I don't think he wasn't, you can't give him an 8 because he wasn't on the whole game, but I think he's definitely a 7. Cavani, look, he had the ball, he put it in the net. You've got to give him a 7 for that. For me, 10 for Van der Beek. I'm joking. Van der Beek's definitely a 7 as well, to be fair. I was only joking, giving him a 10. Daniel James 6, didn't really do anything. Matters 6, didn't really do anything. Brandon Williams 6, didn't really do anything. Amad Diallo 10 because you know what, we don't care. No, he's really a 6. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you won the game 2-0. You got a clean sheet. Solskjaer wins the game 2-0, gets a clean sheet. Yes, it was a boring game, but he managed the game quite well. If a 6 is average, I feel like you've got to give him a 7. But who is your man of the match, guys? Because I don't really know to give my man of the match to. In the second half, I thought Donny was the best player. In the first half, I thought Pogba was the best player. Cavani put the ball in the back of the net. Matic, I think, is up there. I can't give it to Tuanzebe, can I? I'm thinking Tuanzebe, Matic, Pogba, Cavani, and Van der Beek. I think I'm going to give it to Cavani. I think I'm going to give my man of the match to Cavani. Let me know who you give your man of the match to down below. Cavani got man of the match. I think a lot of people would probably agree with me there. I think a lot of people are saying Cavani, man of the match. But get your live chats down below. Get your thoughts on the game down below, as I will read and react to some of my live chats. But for those who are joining late, this is my instant match reaction to Manchester United 2, Granada 0. I talked about the game. I said the first thing we learned was I thought that Donny van der Beek needed to be used more. I think that we saw what Donny can do. I think he moves the ball quickly. I thought the transition in attack was much quicker because he can keep possession. Donny van der Beek can move the ball quickly. He can keep possession, whereas Fred gives it away. Fred's not good under pressure. Donny was definitely involved in all the transitions going forward. He put in a brilliant cross. Maybe Greenwood should have done a little bit better there. I thought the second thing we learned is that I don't think Ollie needed 2 CDMs in this game. I think this is a game where you could have had 1 CDM and naturally been fine. I don't think Ollie needed to be so defensive with the 2 CDMs. I thought the third thing we learned that was Cavani was class. I think, Cavani gets the chances, he puts it in. And I just think with Man United, if we create that one more chance, Cavani gets that one more goal. And I just think for a team, if Cavani was in that Man City team who create chances for Jesus and Sterling, it's all that sitters. Imagine Cavani. Cavani would have like 50 goals. I thought the fourth thing we learned was I thought Ollie's halftime management was good, taking Pogba off so we didn't get deja vu like Fred versus PSG. And I said the fifth thing we learned was Man United were very, very boring to watch. I think we were. Sar says, Alice, thanks for the amazing content. Well, thanks to everyone tuning into the live stream. I am going to have a look at a little bit of Twitter and react to some of your comments and give my thoughts on the game. Obviously, I've covered my 5 things we learned from the game. If you go right back to the beginning of this video and you want to actually see that the whole 5 things we learned, you can do that. I also did my player ratings and I looked at the stats. JB says he hopes Cavani stays at Man United. I'd like Cavani to stay for another year, but I don't think he is. And yeah, I agree with Jay. Donny's passing is neat and fast, and we are live. Let me know if there's any issues with the live or any of that. And thank you, Jay, for the comment. But yeah, what I was going to talk about something. I completely forgot what I was going to talk about. Oh yeah, I know what I was going to do. I was going to stop sharing my screen. But I just think Donny van der Beek is one of my favourite players, and I just want him to be used more. I think he's better than McTominay. I think he's better than Fred. And he's clearly not an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signing. He's clearly not an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer signing. We know that. But I think for me, Donny van der Beek needs to be used more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Twitter. We're going to react to the Twitter before I end the stream. See what is being said, guys. Let's see and react to what's being said on Twitter about the game. So, Goldbridge says, I'm adding Tuanzebe and Van der Beek to the puzzle. Baffled how they've been used. When they've been used every time, they are better than others and they don't get used so much. Yeah, basically what I was saying earlier, what I was saying in my match reaction is like Tuanzebe and Van der Beek play very little minutes, play well, and they never get used again. Even though in the minutes Van der Beek played, in the few minutes Van der Beek played, he was better than Fred. In a few minutes Van der Beek played, he was better than Fred. He probably had a better game than Bruno. The Tuanzebe's better than Lindelof today. Van der Beek and Tuanzebe get their chance, and they're better than a lot of the regular first teamers. And it is so shocking how they don't get more chances, because when they do get their chance, they're always like the best player on the pitch. McTominay could get 3 red cards in a row and score 3 own goals, and he'll be a genuine starter the next game. Van der Beek could score a hat-trick, and he's still not getting in my opinion. But yeah, Amad Diallo obviously played very well. I'm just having a look at people reacting. Arsenal obviously beat the racist Slavia Prague, which is always good to send a message. So I wasn't too bothered the Arsenal one. To be fair, obviously they're just telling us that we are playing Roma in the next leg. I want to go to Statman Dave's page so we can actually look at some of the player numbers. But Man United analytics say Pogba x Fernandes. Ultimately, if we have an elite defensive midfielder, we can play Pogba and Fernandes as 2-8s in most games. It's very double. You just need to work as a unit and be selfish at times. And I'm going to actually pick out this tweet here. This tweet is actually really big because Pogba and Fernandes, when they're up the pitch, they do their best work. When Pogba and Fernandes are in the attacking third, they do their best work. But only one of them can really be attacking, playing an attacking role at a time. When Bruno sits back, Pogba gets forward. When Pogba sits back, Bruno gets forward. But if you get an elite CDM, you can play Pogba and Fernandes high up the pitch together. So you've got double the amount of chances being created, double the service to Cavani, double the goals. You get what I mean? I just think, I look at this tweet and I think it's, top CDM, Pogba, Fernandes, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, maybe put Varane at the back, sort the defence out. That team could win the title. I just think, we do need a top CDM, because I think Pogba's been decent on the left, but I think we want to see Pogba and Bruno as 2/8s in the middle with a top CVM behind them. Because Man City do that, and it's always really, really good to see, in my opinion. And I will get into some of the more live chats. I'm just reacting to some things said on the Twitter. And I will go to Statman Dave so we can actually have a look at some of the things. That's a really good account. But United have scored 100 goals in all competitions so far. That's a little stat for you there. And we are in the semi-final. You know, Pogba yellow card, people say that's mad. This is a stat. Pogba averages around 6 to 7 duels per game this season. Tonight he was involved in 17 and he played 45 minutes. So look at that. That is a stat. So Pogba, 6 to 7 duels a game. 45 minutes he's involved in 17. Pogba playing on the left, and when you're on the left, you're normally less involved when you're in the middle. Was involved in 17 duels. He was completely targeted. I felt sorry for him because he had loads of fouls on him that the ref didn't seem to notice. He makes one, you know, he moves his elbows out and he gets booked. I thought the Pogba booking was very, very harsh in my opinion. But yeah, this Ryan says wasn't impressive. I'm honest. We keep giving the ball away like a hot potato. I do agree. You know, we got the result, but was the performance great? No, it wasn't. You know, it was a brilliant, well-taken Cavani goal and an own goal. It wasn't our greatest performance, but we are obviously with Roma in the semi-final. So what I want to do is I want to look at some of the game numbers, see if he's posted anything. But yeah, he's just talking about the goalkeepers. But this is Tuanzebi's game number. Should we go and look at Tuanzebi's game numbers? Because I think Tuanzebi had a great game. And then I will address some of the live chats. Don't you worry. But Axel Tuanzebe had 93% pass accuracy, which is great. 54 accurate passes, 4 ball recoveries. He won 4 duels, 3 long passes completed, 3 clearances, 2 interceptions. Stronger player. I thought Tuanzebe was absolutely brilliant on his return. I think we can be happy with that. And before this season, Man United will win us in their previous 9 European games against Spanish opposition. They've now won 3 of their last 4 with an aggregate score of 8-0, which is also an interesting stat. And obviously, we've won all of those. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka's game numbers again, he had a decent game. 10 ball recoveries, 8 duels won, 4 out of 5 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 attempted take-ons, 2 successful take-ons, 2 clearances. And he created a chance. To be fair, Aaron Wan-Bissaka had a bit of an underrated game. And I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is actually becoming a very, very, very underrated player for Manchester United, in my opinion. I am going to address some of the live chats and all of that. So stay tuned for that. I'm just going to see what people said about Donny van der Beek on Twitter. It's really interesting to see what people say. Everyone's just happy he's coming on. Any reaction to his performance? But Donny was brilliant in the second half. I think we can all admit this. I hope everyone that disrespected him in the past can see how class Donny van der Beek was. Yeah, Donny was absolutely brilliant in the second half. I don't think we can complain about that. The performance wasn't great and all of that. But yeah, you know, I can't believe Van der Beek didn't start. I think it was absolutely shocking that Van der Beek didn't start because I thought Van der Beek was brilliant. You know, if you were really impressed by Donny van der Beek and you think Van der Beek needs to start more, you've got to hit that like button. I just, you know, as people said, as I was saying earlier, and as people say on Twitter, Donny van der Beek and Axel Tuanzebe, they get given very little minutes, but when they do get given minutes, they're better than the regular starters. You know, McTominay and Fred will be playing on the same pitch as Donny van der Beek, but who's better? Donny van der Beek. So why are McTominay and Fred playing week in, week out, but when Donny van der Beek plays with them, he's always better than them? Why isn't Ollie trusting Donny van der Beek? Why isn't he trusting, you know, Axel Tuanzebe? They're the 2 players that we've always like. Why isn't Ollie trusting? You know, the fact that Ollie didn't start Van der Beek, yes, he got 40 minutes because we went a goal up. The fact that Ollie didn't start Van der Beek shows what little trust he has in him. And he's not a bad player. You know, Donny van der Beek is not like Pereira. You know, there's going from Bruno Fernandes to Pereira, and there's going from Fred to Van der Beek. You know, almost Fred to Van der Beek's almost an upgrade. Whereas, you know, Bruno to Pereira was a massive downgrade. And I don't get why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't start Donny van der Beek. I'm happy Donny van der Beek got 45 minutes. He proved Ollie wrong in his 45 minutes. He was absolutely brilliant. But I don't get why Ollie didn't start him because he's not a downgrade. You're thinking Donny van der Beek is a player that's been in Champions League semi-finals, a player that is one of Ajax's best players, a player that whenever he's played has not been the worst performer on the pitch. He's never been awful. You know, he's played with McTominay when McTominay's had shockers and he's been good. But you can't trust him when you're 2-0 up in the Europa League. You know, I'm hoping that once we get top 4 sealed towards the end of the season, maybe Donny will get some more minutes because the Premier League's safe. But for me, Donny van der Beek has to get more minutes. And I think Axel Tuanzebe deserves more of a chance. But I did miss some of the live chats. So I'm actually going to read out some of you guys' live chats before I end the stream. This match was more of a team effort rather than relying on individual performances. But Cavani scored today, so he's my man of the match. I gave Cavani man of the match because he got 1 chance. He scored it. Luke Murphy says, people are saying Donny van der Beek ain't an Ollie signing, but we are expecting Pogba to move. Well, I think Pogba moves. Donny will be playing nearly every game. Yeah, maybe. I do think, my theory is, okay, we signed Donny van de Beek because we knew Pogba was leaving the following summer, but we knew if we couldn't sign Donny van de Beek in the summer, we wouldn't get him next summer. So I do think we signed Donny van de Beek as a Pogba replacement, but he has to wait a year. Because I hear The Athletic, a very reliable news source that gets their information from Man United, say Man United plans for the midfield next year is top CDM, Donny van de Beek and Bruno if Pogba leaves. Top CDM, Donny van de Beek and Bruno if Pogba leaves. That came from The Athletic. So I do think maybe Donny was signed as a Pogba replacement. Pogba was completely immense in the first half. Cold Assassin says, bye, Man United, you ain't getting past the semi-final. Arsenal Europa League champions. We will see about that. We will see about that. Don't talk too soon. You're 11th. We're 2nd. Just remember that. When is the draw? Who plays who next? Well, there's no draw. We play Roma. Arsenal will play at Villarreal because it was obviously pre-done. So, like, you knew you were playing Real Madrid or Liverpool, if you get what I mean. And Gaz Elliott, is Ollie out still? I understand why people are Ollie out because I think the style of football that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays is very, very depressing. I think we have quality players. I think we have a quality team. But the style of football Ole Gunnar Solskjaer plays is depressing. You know, in this game, we played 2 CDMs. Why did we start this game with Matic and Fred both holding when you 2-0 up against Granada at home? Why didn't we go, oh, let's play Matic, maybe Donny box-to-box, Bruno ahead, and play a bit more attacking football, a bit higher tempo football, exciting football? Let's rest Fred, let's start Donny. Why didn't Ollie do that? My criticism of Ollie is he approached this game, I know we had a 2-0 lead, but we're 2-0 lead, it's Granada, it's the Europa League at home. I don't get why Donny didn't start, and I don't get why we played 2 CDMs. If I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I would have gone, let's rest Fred, let's play Matic, let's play Donny, let's play Bruno, give it a go. Because if this rumour is true, that when Pogba leaves, Ollie wants top CDM, Donny, Bruno, he could have tried it today and he didn't. And when Donny came on, he was arguably the best player on the pitch. Alice, what's your take on the goalie situation at the moment? Are we seeing transition? Both goalies are good. I think De Gea is better, but I have no issue with who starts as long as they play it well. I ignore the whole goalie situation because I'm just like, the goalie isn't an issue at Manchester United. The issue at Man United is we don't have a CDM. So I think when people start talking about goalies at Manchester United, I'm like, De Gea is good, Henderson's good. Do you know what's not good? McTominay and Fred constantly stinking together. Matic and Fred. Do you know what we want to see? We want to see Declan Rice, Pogba, Bruno. So I always think, you know, we could talk about the goalies all we want, but I think we all know that United need a top CDM. Everybody, please hit that like button. If you want United to win Europa League, please hit that like button. I want to try and hit 100 likes on this video. So if everybody watching could hit that like button, it would absolutely mean a lot. Cold Assassin says Man United versus Roma 6-0 in aggregate and Arsenal versus Villarreal 6-2 in aggregate. I'd love to see United get a nice 6-0 win. I mean, we probably won't see that, but how beautiful would it be if Man United ended up winning 6-0? That would be absolutely class. Ollie stays, 2nd place is to stay. Ollie will stay. Ollie's going to be manager next season. If he doesn't get backed, he could be sacked by Christmas. But Ollie will be here next season. I was just looking at the Twitter earlier. Ollie is obsessed with the likes of Fred. That's why I like Fred. I think Fred's a key player. But my only issue is Fred can play really bad versus Leicester. Donny gets subbed off, not Fred. Fred played really bad today. Doesn't get subbed off. Donny plays 45 minutes here and there. Plays really well. Fred plays 90 minutes consistently shit. Starts the next game. I said it in my watch along. McTominay could score 2 own goals and get sent off, and he's guaranteed to start the next game. Donny could come on, score a hat-trick, get 3 assists, he's benched the next game. Don't get it with Ollie. Donny can come on, play well, he's not going to start again for ages. McTominay can come on, have a stinker after stinker after stinker, he won't start again. Donny van de Beek can do what McTominay does, but Donny van de Beek is more all-round. Yeah, I think other than McTominay's better at the physical presence, maybe defending, but Donny's pretty good at defending. But Donny can do all that McTominay can do going forward and more. I do think McTominay is a box-to-box, though. I do think McTominay is a box-to-box, and I do think we need a top CDM. I think maybe McTominay box-to-box gets freed up more. Alpha says, hopefully we can reach the final. Roma will be tough. We are strong enough to beat them. Rest in peace, Arsenal. Unai is going to rip the shit out of them. You know, it'll be so funny if Arsenal get knocked out by Unai Emery. I mean, I want to play out. I think an Arsenal final would be a good final, but Unai Emery knocking out Arsenal would be brilliant. I think, you know, if we beat Roma, we will win I think if we beat Roma, we will win the Champions League. Someone says Muck shit out Donny, and I like McTominay, but he's not a CDM. And for me, the reason I get so frustrated with Ollie and Donny is McTominay, Fred, Matic can play 10 shit games. Donny could come and score a hat-trick, but Donny won't be starting or anywhere near the first team. Donny is the 6th choice midfielder. He's a new young signing. Matic is gone in the summer. McTominay and Fred are consistently poor. Donny, the new signing, is 6th choice midfielder, and I think that's a joke. I'm glad he got 45 minutes, and he proved them wrong. Would you pick Smith Rowe over Odegaard? I think they're both good, but I'd pick Odegaard. If I had to take either Smith Rowe or Odegaard at Man United, I'd take Odegaard. Donny going to play after Pogba leaves? Yeah, that was our discussion. I think when Paul Pogba leaves, because obviously the Athletic reliable source said Man United want a top CDM, Donny and Bruno. That's their plan for when Pogba leaves. I'd like Pogba to stay, but we won't. If Pogba stays, you have to sell Donny, I think, because he won't get much chances. But I don't want Donny to go. But I think we all feel bad for Donny van der Beek. You know, Donny van der Beek plays well. He's going to be on the bench the next game and still be the 6th choice midfielder. McTominay, Fred and Matic have been shit. Literally every 1 in 3 games they have a stinker. McTominay, Fred and Matic, and they're ahead of Donny. And it does make me wonder, why is Donny the 6th choice midfielder when he hasn't done anything wrong? Do you think Ollie overachieved as Man U coach in terms of what he's done? I think not overachieved, but I think, we didn't expect us to get second. I don't think we ever expected Man United to get second, but I wouldn't say Ollie's overachieved. I think you got Pogba, you got Greenwood, you got Cavani, you got Rashford, you got Martial on his day, you got Donny van der Beek. We have the squad to do stuff. I just think, we're second now. Imagine if Ollie gets backed in the summer. Imagine if the Glazers went, you know what, we're going to buy your Jadon Sancho, because Dortmund aren't getting Champions League football next year, so Sancho's going to be £80 million cut price. They go, look, we could get 40 million off Rice with Lingard. We're going to get you Declan Rice. Or we can get Rafael Varane. Imagine if Man United brought in Declan Rice, Jadon Sancho, and Rafael Varane. We'd be absolutely insane. We'd be balling with those players, and maybe we could go on a title race. But the biggest problem with Man United, I think, is not the manager. I think Ollie's football is boring. I understand why people Ollie are out, but he needs to be back. Maybe if Ollie gets a top CDM, we play one CDM, we play Rice, Pogba, Bruno. Imagine if we get Declan Rice, we play Rice, Pogba, Bruno as 8. Then maybe we start playing more attacking football. I think one of the reasons Ollie plays his pressing football is because he doesn't trust his defence and he doesn't trust his CDM. So I'm going to end the stream in the next 5 minutes. So thank you to everybody for tuning in. It really means a lot. And if you haven't hit that like button, please hit that like button. This was my 5 things you learned from the stream and my match reaction. If, say, you've just joined the stream now and you want to know the 5 things you learned from it, just scroll back to the start of the stream or subscribe. But my 5 things we learned, just to go over for everyone new to the stream, is I said that Van der Beek needs to be used more. Ollie, it's a joke that Van der Beek doesn't play as many minutes. That was the first thing I thought we learned from the game. The second thing I said we learned from the game is that Ollie does not need to use 2 CDMs in a game like this. I think he could have risked one holding player, maybe play Matic holding, maybe Van der Beek box to box. I said the third thing we learned was Cavani was class. I think we need to create more chances because Cavani gets one chance, puts it away. Just imagine if we created more chances for Cavani. And I also thought Pogba was great in the first half. I thought the subs by Ollie was smart. I think taking Pogba off was a smart decision. I think he would have got sent off, and bringing Donny on. Donny was great. But the 5th thing I said we learned from the game was Manchester United was boring to watch. I'd take Kimmich for Pogba. I love Pogba, but Kimmich, we need a top CDM. If Pogba wants to leave and Kimmich wanted to come, I'd take that. But yeah, everybody, thank you for tuning into the stream. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I'm sorry if I couldn't reply to all of your comments, but I just got quite a few in. I'll try and reply to them next time. If you're not watching live, comment down below. If you are watching live and say I didn't respond to one of your comments, just comment it down below anyway. But thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. Let's see if we can get 100 likes on this video. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.